Hello gardening friends, welcome to Backyard Basics. I'm John Dromgoole. We're all protecting our plants in the cool months or starting seeds. We're making sure that they don't get into the cold. And this is a little device. If you're not going to buy a greenhouse or build a greenhouse, you can build one of these cold frames. These have been used since the Victorian times, and they put them up against their greenhouses, against the wall, facing the south. That's what this angle is all about. And you can find the components at any box store or hardware store, shop local, and you'll be able to build this rather easily. It doesn't take much to get something like this going. This is a cold frame. It opens up for you. Generally, there are devices that go right here and they heat up and they'll open it during the day, and when it cools off, they'll close off at night. But you don't need one of those. A little stick like this will keep it open for you, as long as you remember that in the evening you're going to have to close it. But it gets nice and toasty in here. Some people will dig a hole underneath it and let the earth be part of the warming process. And during the day, that'll warm up. You put your plants down low, or your seedlings. And if you have some taller plants, like house plants or begonias, anything you want to bring through the winter, or geraniums, any of these things can go into the cold frame very, very nicely. So it's easy to build. It's made out of wood. This is a 2x2 right here. This is a 1x, and you'll just make your little frame. This one right here is a little bit over 48 inches. Those flats fit in there, and you can get flats for free at some of the garden centers so that you can do this at home, and recycle some of the pots also. That way you can step things up. You got a little plant, you want to get them ready for spring, like a snapdragon. You can buy small ones, step them up, and by spring you've got some nice big ones going on in here. These are neat. One of the things that you need to make sure of is that this little insulator is there. Otherwise the heat will escape or the cold will come in during the night. And you find these also at the same stores where you can buy this corrugated plastic. This is not expensive either. This is an inexpensive way to have a little greenhouse. I have several of them in a row, and that way I have a lot of space in them to do the work I need to do. And so this would go underneath this. These things will last. If you get a good plastic, it will last for years. This one right here I estimate to last up to about 8 years without discoloring. And the good quality light coming through there is very important. When it gets cold, you might need to assist it a little bit. I'd put some of the old-fashioned Christmas tree lights in here and it'll keep it nice and warm. Or there's some other small lights that you can keep it warm in here with. I think that's important too. You might put a high-load thermometer in there just to see how it's working at night, because once you have that, then you'll be able to adjust it properly. These are inexpensive and to build. And there's also another device right here. If you don't use the warming lights, you can use this right here. This is a heat mat. This will really help keep these things nice and warm and growing. These are not that expensive either. And so when you produce your own plants, you can save a lot of money. So the little bit of work that you invest your time in will make it an easy way to have a greenhouse at home without having to expend all that money. You make several of these and you're on your way to a really nice garden this coming spring. For Backyard Basics, I'm John Dromgoole. I'll see you next time.